Kevin Beets poured his entire life savings into his new operation, despite receiving a loan of equipment and a plot of land from his father, Tony. With hopes of striking pay by the week's end, Kevin faced relentless challenges. Constant machinery breakdowns and groundwater issues at the Lynx cut hindered progress. Foreman Brennan Rualt grew increasingly frustrated with the aging equipment, especially after discovering broken bolts on the 30-year-old D10 dozer. To make matters worse, Kevin spotted an oil leak. The only dozer he had was out of commission, bringing the operation to a standstill. Left with no choice, Kevin approached Tony to request a spare dozer. Tony's response was blunt: "There are no more freebies. We all have to learn to be our own boss." A tough pill to swallow. 5 weeks into the mining season, Kevin Beets finds himself in a grueling battle against setbacks at his Scribner Creek claim. Equipment failures and relentless flooding in the Lynx cut have stalled his operation, leaving him without a single ounce of gold to his name. Despite the mounting challenges, Kevin remains resolute. "We're just going to keep plugging away," he asserts, determined to turn his fortunes around. The Lynx cut, a promising yet problematic endeavor. Kevin's 44-acre claim at Scribner Creek lies just 3 miles from his father Tony Beets' Indian River mine. Within this claim, Kevin has identified the 11-acre Lynx cut as the most promising area to yield gold. However, progress has been painstakingly slow. Only 3 acres of the cut have been stripped so far. The process of clearing overburden and reaching the valuable pay dirt below is both time-consuming and physically demanding. To stay on track for his ambitious $1,000 per ounce season goal, Kevin must make significant progress by the end of the week. The crew faces mounting stress as the pressure intensifies. "You can tell Kevin and the team are feeling the pressure," notes one crew member. Morale has been steadily declining as the challenges continue to pile up. Flooding in the Lynx cut has slowed excavation efforts, and the constant setbacks have left the team frustrated and exhausted. Kevin, however, refuses to let the difficulties break his resolve. His methodical approach and determination are the driving forces behind his operation, even as the odds seem stacked against him. The already tenuous operation suffers a significant blow when Kevin's only dozer, a 30-year-old Caterpillar D10, breaks down. The D10 finally grenade, a team member reports grimly. "We found bolts broken off and oil pouring out. This dozer, critical for ripping frozen ground and removing overburden, is now out of commission. Without it, progress on the Lynx cut grinds to a halt." Kevin's inspection reveals that the issue lies in the transmission, necessitating the removal of the engine for repairs. "It's going to be down for a while," Kevin admits with visible frustration. A complete transmission fix would cost $60,000, a sum Kevin simply doesn't have. To make matters worse, he has no backup dozer to keep the operation moving. The timing couldn't be worse, as every day lost puts Kevin further behind schedule and jeopardizes his entire season. The breakdown of the D10 is a harsh reminder of the challenges of mining in the unforgiving Yukon environment. The extreme conditions take a toll on both equipment and personnel, pushing even seasoned miners like Kevin to their limits. The crew's morale sinks further as they grapple with the realization that their only dozer is out of commission, with no clear solution in sight. Out of options, Kevin decides to approach his father for assistance. Back at Scribner Creek, he explains the situation to Tony. "Hey Tony, need to talk about that D10. It kind of grenade." Tony, unimpressed, responds, "What grenade?" Kevin elaborates, "Something in the transmission. It's pretty much dead in the water." However, Tony is unwilling to lend a hand. "What you get is what you get," he says bluntly. "There is no more freebies. We all got to learn to be our own boss." This response leaves Kevin in a tough spot. Without the resources to fix the D10 or the ability to procure a backup dozer, he is left to figure out a way forward on his own. Tony's tough love approach is a reflection of his belief in self-reliance, but for Kevin, it's another hurdle to overcome in an already challenging season. With no backup equipment and Tony unwilling to help, Kevin's operation remains at a standstill. The weight of the situation is palpable as Kevin grapples with the harsh realities of mining in the Yukon. The Lynx cut, once seen as the key to his season's success, now seems like an insurmountable obstacle. The crew's frustrations are compounded by the lack of progress, and tensions run high as the clock ticks down. Without the dozer, Kevin's crew has no choice but to improvise. Brennan uses an excavator fitted with a specialized ripper attachment meant for drainage ditches. However, using an excavator to remove overburden and access pay dirt is far less effective than using a dozer, especially when dealing with the Yukon's frozen permafrost. Kevin expresses his frustration. "We're going to have to figure out some way to push through this. Whatever we've got to do to keep production running, we'll do. But it's brutal." The setbacks don't stop there. While attempting to strip ground with the excavator, another disaster strikes. Matt, one of Kevin's operators, notices smoke coming from the site's largest machine, the 700 excavator. "I smelt some hot wires and saw smoke coming out of the back corner," Matt explained. Reacting quickly, he shuts off the master switch, preventing further damage. Upon inspection, the issue is traced to the starter motor solenoid, which had overheated and caught fire. Without a functioning starter solenoid, the excavator cannot operate. A series of unrelenting breakdowns. As Kevin inspects the damaged excavator, the grim reality sinks in. The solenoid burned through its housing, leaving the machine dead in the water, he notes. With no dozer and the 700 excavator out of commission, Kevin's operation grinds to a halt. The mounting mechanical failures take a toll on Kevin. Every time we get a bit ahead, something breaks, and we have to start over. It's exhausting. To make matters worse, the delays threaten Kevin's weekly goal of reaching pay dirt. The original plan of stripping the cut and accessing gold-bearing material now seems like an unattainable dream. The immense pressure to meet targets is exacerbated by the knowledge that every day of downtime eats into the crew's already strained budget. Despite the challenges, Kevin and his team managed to secure a replacement solenoid for the 700 excavator. They worked tirelessly to install the part, reassembling the damaged connections and hoping for the best. "No smoke yet, so that's a good start," Kevin joked nervously as the team tested the repair. Finally, the 700 excavator roars back to life, and a glimmer of hope emerges. Kevin reflects, one heart attack down. "Let's see how much more I got today." Mounting pressure and missed goals. Even with the excavator operational, the delays have made it impossible to meet the week's production target. Kevin's original plan to strip the cut and reach pay dirt by the week's end is now unattainable. He laments, "The plan isn't happening. We're not even close." It's incredibly surprising. The setbacks have forced Kevin to spend more time as a mechanic than as a mine boss. Each hour spent repairing machinery is an hour lost to actual mining. Despite his best efforts, the mechanical failures have derailed his mission to achieve his seasonal goal of 3,000 ounces of gold. "To break even, we have to hit that target this year," Kevin emphasized. "But with all these breakdowns, it feels like the odds are stacked against us." The constant setbacks also take a toll on the morale of Kevin's crew. Many of the team members express frustration at the unrelenting string of challenges, and tension begins to rise. Kevin does his best to rally his team, acknowledging their hard work and encouraging them to stay focused despite the odds. A stark contrast at Indian River. While Kevin battles setbacks, Tony Beets enjoys a rare moment of peace at the Indian River site. Driving through lush greenery, he marvels at the beauty of the landscape, filled with willows, grass, and wildlife like ducks, geese, and eagles. For Tony, it's a brief reprieve from the relentless grind of mining. The calm at Indian River stands in stark contrast to the chaos at Scribner Creek, where Kevin's operation struggles to find its footing. The fight to recover. As the week comes to a close, Kevin faces a sobering reality. His crew's efforts to keep production running have been commendable, but the constant equipment failures have left them far behind schedule. The stress and pressure are palpable as Kevin tries to rally his team for the weeks ahead. He acknowledges the toll the setbacks have taken but remains resolute in his determination to turn the operation around. This season has been nothing but challenges, Kevin admitted. As a mine boss, there are some things you just can't control. It makes the job a lot harder than it has to be. To compound matters, the financial strain of repeated repairs has begun to take a toll on the operation's bottom line. Kevin knows that falling short of the 3,000-ounce seasonal goal could have devastating financial consequences for his crew and his family. Yet, he refuses to let the setbacks define the season. "We've faced worse," Kevin says with determination. "This is just another hurdle we've got to get over." Looking ahead, the future remains uncertain for Kevin and his crew. With so much at stake, every breakdown feels like a step closer to failure. Yet, the team's resilience and Kevin's unwavering determination offer a glimmer of hope. The Yukon's unforgiving conditions may test the limits of even the most experienced miners, but Kevin's grit and resourcefulness suggest that he won't go down without a fight. As Kevin and his crew gear up for another week of hard labor, the challenges ahead loom large. But for Kevin, failure is not an option. "This is what mining is all about," he reflects. "If it were easy, everyone would be doing it."